Welcome to another edition of the Motley Croc. Here we are, September 7th, 2023. It seems like we're here every minute, all the time, living the dream. What's up, Mr. Riffle?
What's going on, dude?
Jeff, how are you?
What's up, y'all? I'm good, man. Real good.
How's everything going for you, Jimbo? How are things progressing?
Oh, things are good, man. Just been busy. I've been doing a couple things at the house, redoing the bathroom, the bedroom, and just been doing a lot of work and cutting new countertops for the bathroom. And when you text me or call me, I was cutting, the butcher block. I was cutting those motherfuckers, and those things are tough to cut with the skill saw. Yeah, but it's looking badass though. It's looking awesome.
So you're putting butcher block countertops into the kitchen?
Bathroom for right now, the master bathroom, and then I am going to do the kitchen eventually, but I'm doing the bathroom right now. So
I bet that
revamping.
Shoot some shots. I know that was figuring you were still cutting that wood because that was a few days ago, and I'm like, God, I hope he's done before the show.
With a Swiss Army knife saw.
He's like, no, he was out there doing it with a handsaw.
Oh shit, dude. That's
right.
Solid.
They used to do it.
Absolutely solid.
They didn't have skill saws at the village.
You use one of those string bow saws.
That's it. Man, just go back and forth.
Can you imagine doing that through chopping block, dude? My God.
No, man.
That butcher block is solid. That stuff is ridiculous.
Yep.
Butcher block.
It's
nice though. Painted it white. It's fucking nice.
That's sweet, man.
That's good, man. I need to definitely check that out. I want to do. Brittany's going to catch up here soon. I think Brett will too. But yeah, I want to catch up. I mean, we got Halloween Horror Nights coming up. We want to touch a little on that, Jeff, because everybody said they wanted to go. I mean, we definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, I forgot. So, man, I was gonna send it to you, Jimmy. Did you get my text messages with the Rob Zombie car?
No.
So that car that we did pictures
was it a text message? You and I took pictures in it.
Yeah, well, I found it in Lakeland. Yeah. Let me. I'll have to elaborate. That was probably why I was trying to. That was one of the reasons I was calling you the other day.
Yeah, sorry, man. I've been MIA recently doing.
It's okay.
I apologize.
What are you gonna do?
I'm literally MIA. I've been. My phone has been my worst enemy at the moment.
Oh no! So there's this really cool place called in Lakeland. It's called the give me a second. Antique Mall. Yeah, and there is. I'm trying to see if we can find it. I would send it over to you, which I will. If I haven't, I will.
Is that the same one you and I got into and took a picture in together? Was that the same car?
Yes,
okay.
From Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It was from Universal. Man, I don't know where I put that picture now. Anyways, it was from Universal Studios, and I'm like, oh my God, I think that's the car that Jimmy and I were in. And then, yeah, I got to find this for you because you'd be like, what the hell? The same one.
I'm taking it though. You've been, right? You've been to Halloween Horror Nights?
No, not yet. Nope. I'm waiting on the crew.
Okay.
I've been listening to what's been going on with it.
Sure.
And I know the scariest house is this one that just popped in, but after that, I really haven't. I haven't had a chance to go yet.
What's your shirt, Troy? What is that? Is that you?
Is
that Slaughters? Oh, the clown. Okay.
Nice.
Oh yeah, fuck it. Yeah, that's creepy as shit.
Running around.
You know me and clowns.
Uh-huh.
That's coming. That's coming. But yeah, so I wanted to. I do want to touch on Halloween Horror Nights, and I saw some. I want to ask Brittany about some stuff too because I saw a couple. I saw some more Bigfoot videos that were like more recent now. So I want to ask you if you know anything about that. And then I've been arguing with these people because things people believe in because it says it on the internet. It's real. It's on the internet. But so I guess this Asian lady. I want to say Asian because I can't tell if she's Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, whatever. So I'm gonna say Asian to be safe. Supposedly was over in Loch Ness and took a picture of the most clearest picture of the Loch Ness monster. Now, I zoomed in on that photo, and that's a gigantic green anaconda that was in a different river. And clearly, if you guys look at that picture, you'll see the green with the big black circles. Now, I'm not saying the Loch Ness doesn't have the same exact jacket.
He could be a Scottish anaconda.
I said, no, guy, I think I've seen a picture like this before. There were some pictures of another one that was wrapped around a caiman recently.
Yeah, I saw that one, I think.
Which I first got sent from Pablo, which if you're watching Pablo, thanks. That stuff's awesome. And so then I saw this picture and we zoomed in. A lot of people inside the comments were like, look, I'm a snake keeper and that's an anaconda. And then I went and looked, and I looked up again. If you look at these recent photos, if you look at them, Jimmy, if you're looking them up, and you look,
I'm looking at something.
It's a double-sided, like the two sides are rolled up out of the water. And Jeff and I
Is it this one?
I don't know. No, I can tell you. I can send it to you guys. If anybody else knows about it in the comments or something, you can tell me. But
this is like the most well known, isn't it? Like this one here.
Yeah, that's the original.
Yeah, that's one of
those
like a styrofoam floaty.
Yeah.
They did. That's what they said because they were looking at the water ripples, and then you got mathematics now and stuff that the computers can do.
Loch Ness monster spotted again. That looks like more.
I'm sending it to you guys right now. I'm sending it to your Instagram messenger so you guys.
Oh, this must be it. Is this the lady?
That's it.
Oh, I saw that one. Let me pull that up.
Yeah. So the page is the Boise Bigfoot. Now, I think they get some cool stuff in there, but I think they also sometimes, if you're watching Boise Bigfoot, I think sometimes that you might need to understand that some things is either a hoax or what's up, Michelle, or along that line of maybe not everything because it's sent in is the real deal. I mean,
SquatchCon, you going, Britt?
SquatchCon?
SquatchCon.
They always there's a lot of Bigfoot conventions and cryptozoology conventions. I can't make them all.
I know. She only goes to the ones where she's paid, folks. What's up, Jeff Kemp? What's up? Gotta love that guy. He spent some time with me the other day, and it was awesome. Glad to have you, Jeff. So Brittany, so did you look at that photo too? Everybody, give me an analogy.
I'm looking right now.
Talk about that photo. And anybody that's watching, go ahead and tell me. Look it up. It's the most recent Sasquatch photo, and not Sasquatch. I'm sorry, Loch Ness photo.
Yeah, I could definitely see the spots and stuff like the green anaconda.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, it didn't come through on mine.
Anybody understands water boats, dude? When they constrict underwater, they roll. I mean, it's so you're going to see that. You're going to see the tail kind of loose sometimes and the head flapping. But
forward it over here. I'm going to take a look.
I think I did, Jeff. I sent it to your here. I'll do it again. I sent it to your Instagram messenger.
Yeah, it didn't come through on my Instagram.
I'm sending it again right now to Reptile.
Okay, cool. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of the story of it. It's on the Instagram. When you see him flash through the pictures, you can clearly see it's just a big. But okay, I mean, maybe it's not. No one argue. Okay, there's a dinosaur there. I don't mean.
It's really weird because, on the picture, there's a couple of pictures now. It's not just the one anymore.
Yeah.
I know, but you can add to anything. I mean.
It's because it's been out there for a minute.
Multiple shots. So now they've uploaded multiple. Okay, hold on.
So I'm going to go. Brittany, do you remember when we did the white-sided pinter and the rare fly turtle and we did it in Florida, but we didn't use any of those species? But if we would release that clip, what people would have thought when they saw that giant soft shell out and he tried to bite my face off?
Yeah, they'd be like, what the fudge are these people?
Yeah, if you don't know, they're like, that's it. That's the missing Jurassic turtle.
Yeah, they look pretty crazy. The soft shells, especially as adults, they have that weird long nose. And
send this to you guys.
Okay, the clip, Jeff. So behind my house, I have like a really jungly waterway, and it looks like you're in the Amazon back there. And they wanted this clip about finding a fly river turtle or something, and they wanted a playback, and we used the soft shell.
Let's see what we got here.
And that's what I was referencing.
I'm watching the video.
These pictures were taken in 2018, so they're recycling now back through.
Yeah, but she said she didn't come out till now because of fear of ridicule.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I find that just a load of bullshit. I mean, no one's going to ridicule you for posting a fucking video that you're not sure on. I mean, you will get some asshole.
You'd be surprised in this field, the shit you get, Jimmy. You have no idea.
I got shit because they didn't believe I even knew Jimmy in real life.
And then you know what? Then
you don't even know Jimmy
in real life.
Look, I can tell you firsthand how hard that is because when I'm dealing on cases in UFOs, even as an investigator, it doesn't matter what someone presents to you. It's still a case that you have to investigate. And there's too many people that have a podium and they think that their opinion freaking matters. And they know nothing about the field. They know nothing about the animals, or they know nothing about this goes for all levels. And the amount of heat that you get from media when you release these types of images, it has made people like change their names and leave states. Like, I'm not joking with you. Like, I know these individuals. So it's a serious thing. So it makes it very hard for people to come forward, because it's not like a healthy debate like what we're doing, to look at it, genuinely just talk about it and be like, well, that's cool. Like, whatever it ends up being through photo analysis, it'll be cool to see what it comes back. No, you get people that will like start making fun of who she is and making fun of her culture, making fun of the fact she's uneducated. Like, they'll just start targeting to bring that person down by just an image of something that somebody took. Like, it is hard, especially in 2018. Screw it. I don't blame her. I wouldn't have put anything up on online. It would have been way more difficult back then. Hell no.
Well, speaking of, since I saw Jeff come in, Jeff Kemp, him and I were talking the other day, and he's made something very valid. We were talking about, what it takes and, media and what people do. And he said, well, now the problem, and it's true, the problem is everybody has a voice.
Yes.
Right. So you don't have to, he was dead right on that. You don't have to be, what's the word? You don't have to be educated anymore to say it.
You could be whatever you want behind the computer. You could be everybody's a medical expert, or a biology expert, or a cryptid expert, or, and they could, that you don't know, they could make up everything and people will still run with it. Oh, it was on Facebook. It's got to be true.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah. The ridicule is so sickening.
Yeah,
these peons and I call them peons because they sit behind a keyboard and they're keyboard bullies. They're just terrible. They think
but they only do that in between when they're playing video games and urinating in Gatorade bottles, I think.
I'm gonna get them. It's like, dude.
That's right. You hit that on the head. You definitely hit that one on the head.
I'm telling you, bro. I've seen some of those. So I've seen those memes, dude. I've seen those guys that sit in those chairs and play, and they're stuck to their seats, and
with a bottle of Code Red and some gummy worms.
They have bed sores on their butt cheeks, bro, from sitting so long playing a game. What the fuck over?
That's my biggest beef is like people that aren't boots on the ground.
A butt sore.
And like read or type on their computer all day. Like for me, I'm like, you don't have a dog in this fight. Like, I'm sorry, you don't. Like, if you've never been in the field and seen the lights, or you've never been in the field tracking something, why do you think that end all be all the final say in this? You don't. Like, even in the field of paranormal, it's literally like, actually, Jack Osborne said it best when we were talking. When it comes to working in the field, you try everything you can to figure out what you can capture, what you can get, whatever the deal is. He said it's literally like pasta. You throw it to the wall and one noodle will stick, then you're onto something. Like, and that's literally the best analogy for paranormal when you're testing out different things. But in that same regard, you have to go through all the pictures. And sometimes you're not going to have a final analysis on a photograph. Sorry, you're just not. And so you have to be able to politely say, I don't know what it is. Like, I think I might know, but I don't have like an answer, and I just don't. So it's a great capture. We'll see what happens. Like, you just have to be professional and kind about it because somebody took it.
Well, that's the thing.
That
I think, well, I don't know if you have to be professional and kind. I know you probably should be, but I do find humor in some of the things people say. And I don't know if you paid attention, but I'll put Easter eggs into what I call Easter eggs is if when I mention it, Jeff will get it. Some of you guys are a little younger. You won't. So on the ad today, when I was talking about what people believe in Bigfoots or Sasquatch, did you read what I put in the story for the show?
Yep.
I read the one the other day. I didn't read
the one I wrote about today was the perception of Legion and the demons, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that.
So what we believe was being said, what they were saying, not what was taught supernatural wise, but on a layman term was this person suffered from multiple personality disorder or schizophrenia. It happened back then too. So when they were holding them down and something said, I'm Legion, I'm one of many. There's a lot of diagnosed schizophrenics and people who have multiple personality disorder, not the people that just go rape and kill and pretend they do, but like real people who do. And so if they come up and they keep saying that in that time, they may have thought that, when Jesus walked in the room, dude, and showed off his his badge of holiness, they all thought, oh shit, it's Jesus is here, so those must be demons, you know. But really, when he's like, what's your name? He wasn't getting a name. It was one of his personalities. And it's all on the perception of what you think it is, isn't. So I would never say that I guess the story that is anybody can believe it they want. It's how they teach it. So before you make a statement, like Brittany said, you should really know your shit. And it can be with alligators or, animals in general. Because you hear, I still read stuff and watch what people put on social media. I still can't believe they do it in 2023, almost 2024, especially when it comes to animals. Real seriously.
Yep.
People put fake shit up for clickbait, and it's the most irresponsible thing in the world. Think about how many people. We were talking a couple weeks ago about the laser photos from Maui. Yeah. How many people that knew 100% that they were from years past, but still presented them like, "Ooh, look what happened in Maui," because they want clicks. It's all about your popularity and your followers and your clicks. People do anything to get likes and clicks and whatever, even
views for sure. Yeah.
So I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy when I bring stuff like this up, but you can always, especially if you're here in Florida, you can find clickbait, right? So the other day I was up at Publix and I probably have to go every other day. Yeah, every other day I got to go get some fresh fruits and veggies for my little furry monkeys. You know what I mean? They got to have it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I saw this, what appeared to be a homeless person, or I think just a junkie.
Could have been both.
A box of Publix chicken someone gave him, and right by there's a pole there, and all the seagulls laying there and eating shit. And the seagulls were like shitting all over the sidewalk there, and he dipped his nugget in there and ate it. I watched him do it. And the only thing I was really upset about was and he never did it. Fuck. I would have totally put that on Welcome to Motley Croc show, chicken finger, seagull poop tonight, because now that's clickbait. You see a guy's like, this all looks like egg yolk. Would have been like a perfect.
Yeah.
Woo! Right? That's a
wow, man.
But I see stuff like that all the time, and I think, man, can you imagine getting a hold of, And I saw this guy from India today. The whole 9 yards, dude. He had like the whole big red wrapper on his head and a big diamond in the middle of it.
Like a
real like white silky shirt with the gold belt and the shoes, and he straight up smashed his Maserati into the back of this Kia. I mean, he was standing on the side of the road and everything, dude. With like the big Elvis hairpiece. You know how they look like that? You could see it, dude. It was like this big red, looked like it was like a red wrap, but it was real high like Elvis.
He looked like the dude from Aladdin, from the cartoon Aladdin. Remember?
What was that cartoon we used to watch with the little blonde guy and the
Johnny Quest?
What is his name?
Yeah, Haji was his best friend.
So I rolled the window down and go, man, what'd you do? Because the whole car was just rough. So it's just funny, man. There's just so many. That's so back to clickbait. I mean, you can totally.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
dude, I was driving yesterday. I was driving yesterday out of a gas station, and there was two of them. They were definitely homeless or bums or whatever. They were definitely junkies, though, on top of it all. They were fucked up. And one guy looks at me, and he's like, nods like, hey. And so I was like, I just waved. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I didn't notice the guy sitting on the ground, flicking his ball sack, sitting on the sidewalk.
Flicking it? Oh, why didn't you get a video of this?
But that's clickbait, bro. He's sitting there literally flicking his ball sack.
His own ball sack? His own ball sack?
His own ball sack, and he had like his ass was showing. Bro, it was fucked up.
I'm trying. His ball sack was like out of his pants.
Yeah, like it was like it was laying out.
I know they do that in LA.
Sack. You never heard of that?
They do that in Hollywood. Brittany knows.
Yeah.
You've never been to Hollywood, dude. Jimmy has. I took him. When me and Jimmy.
Hey, you want something funny? I just told Heather about that trip. Me, and Flavio walking down the fucking.
Oh my God! You have to go. Listen, folks. If you ever go to Hollywood, it's great during the day. There's like 350-pound Spider-Mans. There's Wonder Woman that should not be Wonder Woman. There's like Deadpools. There's these. I mean, it's an amazing sight. But at night, people are eating each other. They're having urine fights.
Hollywood Boulevard.
You might have to drag one of the bodies off the stars to read the stars.
It is.
I mean, it's fucking nuts.
Dude, it is. What's up, beginners? It is just a trip because I mean, I told Jimmy, I go, you got to see this after hour shit, man. And we walked it, and you're like, oh my god. And
it was a different world, dude.
I know. And we stayed in a hotel that looked like Marilyn Monroe's bedroom.
Yeah.
Remember those big crystal chandeliers over our beds? I mean, I woke up.
I thought we were gonna fall off.
He was like brushing his hair, and I felt like we were back in time. Like,
was that the one that I? Is that the one I? No, that wasn't the one I booked for you, was it?
No, that was when we went to
the
LA.
Mustang.
Yeah, that's when we went up to talk to about that show idea.
Yep.
Oh, that might have been one of the recommendations though that I found for you guys to stay at.
Yes,
right?
I think it was. Yes, and Flavio was flying in.
Brittany set it up.
Flavio was flying in, and we ended up hanging out with Flavio for a couple days.
Yeah, we did.
That's what we were sitting
Flavio
down
from the entire state of California. Removed him. We're done.
Yeah.
We're done. We're going right now to the airport. I left his ass at the airport. That motherfucker was off that night, dude. Off. Everybody knows Flavio? He was Flavio plus 10.
Oh man, that's heavy duty right there.
Bro, it was real heavy duty, and we were in a restaurant. I thought we were gonna die.
Yeah. We're like, we're done.
The man's got no filters whatsoever. He'll say whatever the fuck he wants to whoever the fuck he wants.
100%. And then even on top of it, we got out of the restaurant. We made it out alive, and then we're walking down the sidewalk, and we're people watching or homeless people watching, and we're like practically stepping over them, and Flavio starts walking up to people, and he's like hovering over them, and he's like fucking around pulling his zipper down like he's gonna. Remember he was gonna say he was gonna piss on him or something like that. Do you remember that story?
Yeah,
and you and I looked at each other. You said to me directly. You looked at me and said, "Don't pay attention to it. Keep walking."
Yeah. Man, we had some weird times.
I was like, "Yep."
Oh, yeah,
so
awesome.
I don't know. Somebody randomly just texted me. I have a phone number. I'm not going to put it out. Let me hide it. It says Walmart's finest. I'd like to know who sent this to me. Just now, I got this picture.
Damn, is he pregnant?
I don't know, or he has like a beach ball in his pants.
Yeah, dude.
I just got this as a random text
of the nuts.
From a phone number. I don't know who it is. Someone's got my numbers. If you're watching, that was pretty good. That was funny.
Did you see that thing I sent you on Instagram? That carpet python my friend sent me from Australia?
Yes.
From the news, dude. That thing's ridiculous. That's the biggest carpet I've ever seen.
Yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, I thought so too.
A carpet the size of a friggin' anaconda. I sent it to you too, Jimmy. I think I sent it to the Gator Boys Jimmy Riffle account.
Yeah, well, he's been busy. Remember, he's been off the
Gator Boys. Was it email?
No, I sent it to Instagram.
Bro, I haven't posted nothing on social. I haven't done shit. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm literally like
working brand. Even though you're already world famous, you got to keep the brand going.
You sent it to Jeff. You sent it to me 12 minutes ago.
Yeah, 12 minutes. You should have had it read already. That's what I meant. I just said it.
Yeah, I was looking through it, man. That thing is that's massive. For anybody who doesn't know, carpet pythons don't generally get that big, actually.
No, dude, that thing is freaking huge.
My word.
Huge. I'd be psyched if I saw that in my fucking backyard, though. Yeah. I'd love to fucking go to Australia for a trip. How long do you think
that is?
I mean, just by looking at it, I'm going to go with at least 15 feet because it keeps going and going and there's like no end to it. It's still the thick part, Let me look at it again.
Oh my God, that looks like something out of like a movie. You're like, that's not real.
Yeah.
I actually
I want to try to really size that up. We can figure it out. We can figure it out with mathematics. I can
look at its face coming through the other side.
Yeah, because there's at least 6 or 7 feet already in the tree when it starts.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 15 feet, 11 to 15 feet somewhere.
Yeah.
Cool looking snake though, man.
It reminds me of the Jungle Cruise when he's like, "Oh, and there's a snake on your side," like the water anaconda or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all draped through and it's just staring at you as you come through. Like, this is what it reminds me of. Could you imagine going home and being like, sorry.
I'd be psyched. I'd be taking pictures.
My roof. Huh?
Probably keep it. Carpet pythons are nasty as hell too when they want to be.
I have a friend of mine give me the cart. Troy, you saw the one that I have, that big carpet, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty good size.
He's like 9
pretty good
feet.
size. Absolutely.
9-10 feet. He's a big ass snake, and he's mean.
That is a big snake. Let people know that's on Instagram. What's the title of it?
Oh, it's
you guys want to check it out. I'm sure most of you have seen it.
Here, I'll put it in my story.
Cool. Brittany's gonna put it in her stories, and then but yeah, I can.
Cool.
7 News Australia.
Go to my Britain business. It's on my.
A huge 5-meter snake has been spotted climbing.
15 feet on the nose, man. Look at that.
5 meters.
5 meters. So that's what, like 15?
Little over 15 feet.
15.
That's crazy, man. Oh, I got some news actually. I almost forgot.
Are they sure that's a carpet python though?
Yeah, it's a carpet because it's Australia. What else do they have that's that big? And look at the markings on it too.
That's true.
Let me see again. But yeah, no, I'm
no, you're right. That's true. That's true. If it's in Australia, then I mean,
yeah, that's 100% a carpet. Look at the markings on the side. I'm under contract on a house.
Nice.
Congrats.
It's not in the middle of the woods like I wanted, but it's on about a third of an acre. I just got to get it fenced, which is going to cost me a freaking bloody fortune. But
probably about 20 G's, depending on what you use.
Yeah, I'm going to use wood. Vinyl's a little bit more expensive, and I don't want to use chain link because I want the privacy.
Right.
It's got a pool, but it's like one of those huge oval above ground, but it's a nice one. It's like brand new. And it's got some decking around it.
There is scrub pythons, Daniel, in there, but it doesn't have that type of pattern.
Yeah, and scrub pythons are usually pretty thin. They're narrow bodied and long, like the amethystines and stuff.
Where'd you get it, Jeff? Where'd you find your place?
Spring Hill. So I'm gonna be closer to you, Jimmy. I'm
Spring Hill's not very far.
Right in the middle of Spring Hill.
Well, good, Jeff. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm psyched, man. I'm really psyched. It's it needs some updating, but it's in good shape anyway. Like, the bathrooms still have that early 80s brown porcelain for the toilet, the tub and stuff. That like tan brown porcelain.
Yeah, that's nice, bro. Retro it up. What do you mean?
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm gonna do. One of the bedrooms is really cool. It's too bad it's not the master. It's really nicely painted, but it's like black on the top and red on the bottom.
Wow,
that's gonna be Ruby's room.
Is it a concrete or manufactured? What is it?
No, it's wood.
It's a wood home? Okay.
Yeah, it's wood. And the only thing about, I looked at a couple manufactured, but they're so freaking square or rectangular. There's like no character. I'll send y'all the link to it right now. About 1,400 square feet. It's got a converted Florida room. Nice. Huge 2-car garage, which I think I'm going to take and drywall half of it in and insulate it and make half the garage my reptile room. That's the plan anyway.
That'd be nice.
Let me see here if I can pull up the two dudes.
I wish, it's so funny. I watch I know this is like such a woman thing, but I watch HGTV a lot, probably more than I should. But I love when they do whatever. Okay. I know. But I love when they find those old retro homes. I hate that they change them, but I love when they.
What's up, Jimmy?
Because they have those really cool the old sit down by the fireplace, the sit in sofa areas.
Oh, I love the sunken living rooms. The sunken living rooms are my dream.
Oh, I love those. I love
70s, late 60s.
It keeps looking like we're gonna walk up there and see Jason standing in the doorway. I like that. That's a good looking house, Jeff.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude.
That's straight
Halloween decorations a go. I gotta tap your fucking expertise.
That's like Nightmare on Elm Street, bro. Yes, dude. I can see Johnny Depp walking out of that house right now to go down the street and getting away from Freddy.
Oh, I
love shit like that, dude. I love that stuff.
We could be dream warriors.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Brittany's house too.
What's that, Brittany?
I said, and it's got a pool.
Yeah, and it's brand new. It's it's an above ground, but it's about the nicest above ground pool I could ask for.
It's really nice. You even have a half porch around it, which is
and I'd probably end up building more porch around it a little bit once I get it. Fencing is first. Next, I got to get rid of the freaking carpet. I don't do carpet.
Hey, I think the blue is your color, buddy.
I like it.
Wait, which picture is that? Oh,
I don't know. The bathroom.
The bathrooms. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the master bath. Is it definitely needs some updating. But man, I really like it. The kitchen's big. Eventually new appliance. It's a house that's really in good shape that I can live in and do stuff too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I'm waiting actually for a fence quote. I hit the guy up with the survey today. My inspection's on Saturday.
Give me the survey. Give me the survey because
dude,
somebody in that business, dude.
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you right now.
Yep. And I'll call tomorrow and see if I can get a quote.
Cool. And I'll post it on my Instagram, y'all. Once I clear the appraisal, because that's how I lost that awesome house in Dade City a couple months ago. So once the appraisal's clear and I get my my conditional clearance to close, I will be posting pictures of it. I'll be having, as soon as I get the big green egg up there and build a new table for it, I'll be having a huge housewarming barbecue. It'll be ribs and brisket, and I really like to do a suckling pig on that piece. I've never done one. Big pig
you
roast.
Said a pig?
Yeah, a little suckling pig. It's not long enough to truss it and turn it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Have you ever heard of a China box?
A China box?
China box, bro. They are absolutely badass. China boxes are
China box.
It's made of I think it's like aluminum or metal or something on the inside, and you put the pig in a grate, and you sit them down in it. We used to Jimmy Barbecue. He'll know what I'm talking about, and he used to do a lot of pig roast at the Village back in the day, and we used to put them in the China box, and you put charcoal on the top of the China box, and it cooks the pig thorough. I mean, it's hours, but it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, on my egg, usually I slow cook stuff too, which I freaking love, man. It's one of the best purchases I ever made, but the termites killed my cypress table. It's like 3 years old and it's falling apart. So my fucking smoker's halfway falling over. Thanks, Craig. Yeah, you're all. It's gonna be fun, and I'll be freaking out some of my super Christian neighbors. Yeah, I've seen that, Jeff, where they dig the hole. They put the hot coals in the hole.
Oh, that's Jeff. So Jeff has a badass. That's Jeff, my neighbor. Jacob's grandfather.
I was gonna say, I know that man knows how to cook a hog now.
They put that shit in the ground and they cook the shit out of that. And they have they clean them and hang them.
It's like Hawaiian style.
Yeah, they'll cook some pigs over there.
That'd be awesome, man.
He cooked a pig, a mean pig.
I cooked up some alligator today, boy. Sure did. It was good too. Couldn't get Daniel either. I'm not eating that, man. I love them. I go, you gotta love them inside.
Let me tell you something, Daniel. An alligator would eat you if it got a chance. So you might as well return the favor, bro.
You're loving it with your lips.
Man, there used to be this meat market in Boston where I live called Savinors, and they had every kind of meat you could think of. It's where Julia Child used to get her meat when she was working out of Boston. They had camel, snake, fucking every kind of beefy animal, cow, yak, bison. What else?
Good now. There's some good meats out there. Good. I really like ostrich. I know people
I love ostrich, man. Ostrich has flavor and it's low fat.
We were doing an alligator thing, and they said to me, they were like, I bet you don't eat those. I was like, I sure would, man. Don't think I won't eat an alligator. I will. And then he's like, oh, you just, animal people. Like, dude, I'd eat a person if it was legal.
Hell yeah, dude. Why not?
He was like, he didn't say too much after that. I don't know if he thought I was kidding or wasn't. I don't know. But, I figure, you can still be an animal person and eat meat. I mean, that's not
absolutely.
People disagree. That's not true. But there are people out there that are just vegan that are just, they don't care about what I do or you do. They're just doing it for themselves.
Exactly.
And then you get those vegan Nazis, dude. You got to watch them, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if you
don't watch them,
if you don't believe in the food chain, watch the fucking Lion King. It's a goddamn life, motherfuckers.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Yep.
And there's a lot of people's opinions on what to eat or not eat. It goes back to that, is Bigfoot real or not? So it's just funny to me, but I don't care if you don't want to eat it. That's great. I'll find something for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, you ever see this?
And there's good people. I have some good friends and people very close to me that are pure vegan, and they don't ever give me a hard time.
Oh, same.
I'll slap a bloody ass steak down. Oh my gosh, delicious! They're having a little bit of water and food. You know what I'm saying?
If you care about what other people eat, you're doing it for the wrong fucking reason.
Jimmy knows one of them talking about. Jimmy knows one of them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
When Lewis said, he said, "Would you like some water and air for dinner?" That's wrong, man. I don't ever do that, but they do, dude. If you want to have salted string beans and stuff like that, I like that too.
Yeah, I love vegetables, but man, I love
alligator meat's good. I'm trying to tell Daniel it's not an experience that he had with his best friend in the woods. It's not like that. It's good meat.
Yeah. That's a different kind of meat in his mouth.
Right. I just didn't want to say it exactly. Thank you, Jeff, for clarifying that.
I got you.
Sorry about saying that story, Daniel. Sorry, but alligator meat's good. I got it it's legally. It came from a gentleman that's legally has it. I've got all the tags for it, but he told me, he said, you got to get Louisiana fish fry. They sell it at Publix. And that's all you need, right? Some Louisiana fish fry and some vegetable oil, a little salted vegetable oil. I did that today. Bro.
I'd eat it, dude. I'd eat anything, man.
It was so good. Even Daniel's like, it smells fucking delicious, but I won't do it. See, it was just that's just what he did. But,
fuck, dude.
But yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, he's just missing out.
Yeah, dude. I've eaten scorpion. I've eaten fucking animal balls. I've eaten whatever, dude. I'll try anything.
Well, it's funny. Somebody made a video because I guess there was this person who first put out a video that was saying that, like, apparently, according to a new scientific study, that plants can actually see you.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that. It's kind of weird. So then
potatoes because they have eyes.
The tomatoes can see you?
No, they were just saying that plants can see you. Through a new science, they've learned that plants can actually see you. And so this girl,
we don't give a fuck about their life, though.
Well, that's the thing. So this girl spliced it from the original reel with this scientific thing.
That's the veggies.
And she's like crying, and it says like vegan's thoughts, and she's like, well, shit, what am I going to eat now? Because it was like, now the
fucking tattoo ink isn't vegan.
Huh?
Tattoo ink isn't vegan.
Well, no, it just cracks me up that I'm like,
yeah.
You know,
let me put this up, Brittany, because I want you to see how professional this man is. This is Dan, everybody. So if anybody's watching from any major zoo that would like
to my God.
Did I send you that shirt, Troy? Jesus is my co-pilot.
Yep, I'm going to get that's exactly it, Jeff. And right underneath it's going to be right here. Quotes from Daniel Schwarzfart. Yeah, okay, buddy. I don't have a choice, though. You Southern boys do things a little different than we do up here. They watch me.
Yeah.
I get whatever Jimmy kills.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I want everyone to know I'm
Coyote steaks at Jimmy's.
New pools in here. The new pools are we just have gator on the grill, right, Jeff?
Absolutely, man. I'm down.
Yep. And that's exactly, we know, Jimmy. It's okay. Jimmy,
if you can get me some, I'll smoke it on the egg. I bet it'd be fucking.
Hey, you have to wean them out to open up some new enclosures. What do you got to say?
Jimmy's like, you can come here anytime. I got flavor. This one here eats Fruity Pebbles. I got this one on top. Remember Pop-Tarts? Oh, man, that's tender. And right over here, we have
a nice strawberry flavor.
What do you want?
That's right.
Flavored gator.
Flavored gator.
He's like, I fed this one hot dogs. He's going to be good on the grill.
So that one right there. So we just need it. You know what? We need to name the alligator Beaker, because he's a testator. That's it.
I was gonna say if you do hot dogs, you use the alligator's lips and asshole for the hot dogs, like they do with fucking beef and pork.
Oh,
I can't. Jimmy, we have a lot of stories that could be said.
I like it. Go ahead. I wanted to put it up there. So Jimmy, you woke up at the village after party and you ate cold deer meat. With fly eggs and maggot meat protein. You did that, Jimmy?
Bro, there was a lot of us that did that. That was a long night, and Jimmy's being modest here because we've waken up plenty of times at the village, and we'll just leave it at that. Very long night.
I've seen the Hangover series.
We woke up in the alligator enclosure back in the day, and gators were laying on our legs, and I think Jimmy, you guys put this is kind of fun, a jet ski in the alligator pit. They woke up and they were on a jet ski in the alligator exhibit. So,
oh my God, that sounds like a good time, Jimmy. I like that,
bro. It's crazy.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, buddy.
Mm-mm.
Oh man.
Jeff. That goes perfect with all this.
All right, then. That's well, there goes the whole show.
Yeah,
Fun folks.
canceling us
4 years now.
Oh, in the villages, you don't want to fucking wake up and eat anything cold. Michelle.
No.
You gotta pull me and just put your head down. Put your head down.
No, not the villages, as in like the upper villages. What's that?
I said,
yeah, the villages doesn't have maggot eggs. It's got syphilis.
Put your head.
Hey, that's how I kept my my stomach gut strong.
Hell yeah, dude! You gotta fucking make it on, bro.
Woo!
Craziness, man.
Anyways, the Bigfoot pictures or whatever that have been floating around. What's going on with all that stuff? I want to know.
I don't know. Honestly, there's so many new pictures of Bigfoot that keep coming out all the time that you never know which ones are real or which ones aren't. The one that I did see recently, I was like, that.
Was it the video that you saw, Brittany, that came out new? Like guys that were hiking or something? It was in the distance. Of course, it's always in the distance, and no one ever has Zoom cameras. But it was the one in the distance. Was it Canada? Was it Canada they saw it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
A couple of them recently that have come out. Yeah. It might have been. Well, there's one I posted, I posted to my stories, but it was footage from like a mockumentary or whatever that was filmed. And I just liked it because it was from a perspective of like, if you're sitting in the woods and this thing just kind of like walks past you through frame, like it's kind of just intimidating. And I posted it and I said, man, I wish this was, like real, like this real footage. But there's some aerial footage that was actually filmed as like it was done, I think, on native land. And I believe that were natives that were filming it through a drone. And to date, that's still one of the most like right now that was more recent footage. Most controversial to find out, like, is that real? Because it's really zoomed in quite tight on top of him walking through, or she walking through the forest. Like, it's really cool. It's a tight
And
zoom.
where was this at?
Somewhere in the U.S. Or maybe it was Alaska. I don't remember the region. I'll have to find
in the U.S. I just wanted to throw that out there for shits and giggles.
It is U.S. still, but like, I didn't know if it was like down on our side or if it's up over on the thing about Alaska sightings, which I find really interesting, and people seem to forget, is how close Alaska and Russia really are.
Oh yeah. It's
very close.
It's like driving from Florida to North Carolina. Not
like
even.
They could make a baby.
I think it's less than 100 miles, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's crazy close, and so people forget about that when you're talking about. So in recent years,
Alaska. We're familiar with Alaska. There's like Alaska, dude. We know all about it.
Well, it's just funny because in recent years they've discovered that like people that have
55 miles, Brittany.
Yeah, that's
sounds bad.
Yeah, that's nothing. Yeah, let's
it's like driving to my house in Spring Hill. I could drive to Russia if I lived in Alaska.
Yeah, so
it's underwater car.
Yeah, so it's like just like people just don't
that
think
looks like
about
a flashlight. That looks like a flashlight. Whenever you just put in something getting stuck in it. What is?
That's Russia and Alaska.
They're at the top.
It looks like they're going to go docking.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like somebody's shitting on Daniel's dick. Hold on.
Anyway,
Daniel, you got it, buddy.
Russia side's the shore.
All right, anyway, go ahead, Bumblebee.
What I'm trying to say is like Russia has an intense amount of real sightings, and like the footage coming from Russia with their Sasquatch sightings, they're pretty darn good. But
they're faking some of that stuff, Jeff. Like, how like in America, I think I want to touch on that. They always have like a monkey mask or something, and someone's running through the woods, and you kind of see it. But some of them shits in Russia, when they get them on film, there's these little kids, like or whatever. And there's like this thing just stands up, turns around, and you just hears kids farting and passing out and trying to run and can't breathe and crying and going into baby voice, like calling for their parents, and they're like 15. I mean,
I think. And I could be wrong on this, but there was a footage, and I believe it came from Russia. Like some of the best documented Bigfoot clips that we have, aside from the Patterson Gimlin video, is literally coming from Russia. And it's like, because those guys just listen. They just don't give a shit. They're out there in the they just don't care. You know, like there's those crazy videos where like guys are like doing lifts and push-ups and the bears pushed in the tree for them to like do workout. Like they're that crazy. Like they just
They probably love the fact that there's squats there.
Yeah, but there's like, and I know it's there. You guys can find it, and it's literally a family in a car, and I really do believe it was Russia, because I think it was dubbed over for us like with subtitles. But this thing like comes up out of the bushes and stares at them in the car, and then the mom, like you hear her, she's like, "What is that? What is that?" And the kids are like, "I think it's Bigfoot!" Like they're freaking out. And this thing comes out from the grass, the high grass, and starts chasing the vehicle. And they're freaking the fudge out. Now, either they were being pranked or this was like a legitimate, like.
It was cool though, whatever it was. I have seen
that. It ran on 2 legs.
Oh, they all did.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. If it was a prank, it was well done, and I would totally do it. I'm not saying big.
I was like, oh my god!
I'm saying I want it to be, because it would be cool to see one in real life. Anytime that you get to see something on a legitimate, all joking, I'm not even going to throw a dry joke in here. Anytime that you could see something that you told that you were told, or do something you were told you couldn't do, or see something that was never real. When you see something crazy like that, dude, it's badass. That's why, for that feeling, I would like to hope that it is, and I'd like to see one day if it ever happened. You know, that's what I would like to. And I also think we should. I don't know why we're chasing it around. Maybe it knows some things that we don't need to be knowing right now. Okay. Why don't we just let it do its thing and leave it alone? Why do we have to? What are we trying to do? Kill him?
I don't know.
Why do we have to be the superior, dude?
You used to hang around with a Bigfoot.
I did. Brittany used to date one.
I married him.
Not that one.
How often do you have to shave him down, Britt?
Yeah, exactly.
Brittany's always went for Sasquatch size men, except for one.
It's because I'm tiny. I like having tall.
Well, the last one he wasn't very.
No.
He wasn't very tall at all. You guys shared the same genes. But you know, but at the end of the day, man, that would be cool. If you could see something like that, that would be really rad, you know?
Well, I mean, that's the thing is like you sit there and you think about it, and like I'm just not one of those people that so close-minded to be like, it just doesn't exist. That's ridiculous. It doesn't exist. And I'm sorry. I think that's a ridiculous statement when you're learning new things all the time about different species. And I get the controversy of it, of saying something that large. How did we miss something that large? But go through history in the last, even just, I dare you, 80 years, and look at the animals they're discovering and the size that they are, not in our ocean, on land.
Look at the platypus, for fuck's sake.
That's funny, Michelle.
What the fuck is that thing?
Well, I mean, but that's the thing. It's like, I don't like when people are just so like hell bent on like, it's not possible, it's not possible. And it's like, why do you say that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you think that Bigfoot can be a descendant of giants that has either devolved over the years, or, you know, because I know that the further back you go, the more sightings of giants there are. At least so I've seen, you know what I mean? And I don't know.
Maybe. I wouldn't say that that's not going to be a true theory.
Well, let's take it a whole different, we could create a whole new conspiracy right now. So I know.
Well, that's what you do, goddammit. Let's shake it off.
I know. Well, I'm like, I know that
the COVID vaccine.
I know that is one theory. There's alien theory, there's interdimensional theory, there's ancient human theory, and then there's just ape theory. So for instance, let's just go on a new rabbit hole.
I feel like I'm in like Professor. I feel like I'm on a Zoom call in college. Let me tell you about the theories. El gato. The stand theory. Go ahead. I just had to touch on that. That was really cool.
Professor Brittany's Bigfoot bonanza.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. Come on.
No, so okay. So you have all these branches, but let's just say, like, okay, so the alien theory is basically the alien interacting with apes and creating human from apes, right? That's why we have the evolution train of apes turning into humans, and therefore it came from alien, extraterrestrial.
What are we going to turn into?
But we could take this to a whole new level and take what you just said about giants, the existence of giants. That I firmly believe that the existence of giants is still very present on our planet.
Oh, after reading the Afghanistan accounts from the soldiers, that's what made me more believe in that.
Me too, bro. I know exactly what you're talking about. I agree 100%.
That one is incredible, and that one.
I found one even further back of Native Americans, dude.
Oh yeah,
no. Did you ever wake up in the village and see any Bigfoots or giants?
No. They would chase them in the cave. They documented chasing the big red man or big red man or whatever. And they would lock them in the caves, bro, and then they would like shove all a bunch of shit and set it on fire and burn them in it.
They were the red-haired giants. I studied that, and I actually know the guy that went into the Lovelock Cave. His name was Ron Moorhead, and I spoke with him because he studied the crystals. And so, what's really interesting about that is that it was an actual tribe. The Paiutes were the name of the actual tribes that fought these giants. These giants lived in caves and underground tunneling. And they were they would eat humans. That's what they survived off of. And they were eating individuals. Now, her dress that she was buried in is made up of the hair of the giants. Now, this was just an alleged claim, a story, whatever. But that was written and documented by her own family, that these giants, these redheaded giants that they killed and fought to save their people from, they actually made her dress from that. Now, that Lovelock Cave, out there in Nevada, they actually used to have the museum that showcased these skulls, these types of bones, showcasing and talking about the giants of Lovelock and the story of the Paiutes that fought them. There was a huge thing with the Smithsonian that came into play and said those were native bones and needed to be buried, yet they did not match any of the natives that were out there. The entire story has been taken away from that museum, and they don't talk about it anymore. And there's a plaque now that was issued by the Smithsonian that sits in the museum stating that the bones found in the story about the Lovelock is all made up, basically, and what you're reading is all fake. However, when I was in Virginia City, I met with one of the gentlemen who ended up buying several of the properties there in Virginia City, and he is awesome. I love him. I'm friends with him still. Wonderful human being. Wonderful man. And we're talking when he bought one of the buildings in the basement. They had in the basement, and he doesn't know who or how it got there, but he had a 7-foot tall red-headed giant skeleton remains in the basement in a box, like in an actual box. So because he was tribe, he called the natives and said, "Is this part of Lovelock?" And they're like, yes. They came, got the body, and they gave it a proper native burial. And it was, and he said, it was like over 7 feet tall, all just sitting together. One of the original, and I said to him, I said, "Can you take me where they buried it?" And he was like, "Absolutely. We can't dig it back up, obviously, because it's sacred ground. That would be against everything of the purpose of what we did."
Yeah, where's Indiana Jones when you need him?
So we can see it. But you know what the best part is with LiDAR and the ground penetrating radar, we now have the ability that if I actually went to the location of where it was buried, we can actually see it and measure it based off the ground penetrating radar to identify it as one of the actual Lovelock giants, because those giants are buried, and we just
we're never going to let you get to that. So
anyway,
just imagine, why do we have to play the sacred ground? So, that's thousands of years from now when Jimmy's dead, and they want to dig up, they remember in the archives back in the 21st century, Gator boys. Well, you can't dig him up. He's buried there in his Ocala land before.
No, I'm going to make sure that my stone says, "Dig me up."
Yep. Well, make sure you dig him up. He's going to have a certain
when you die, you got to flip the bird.
Well, no, the reason why it was called sacred was because they actually did it on sacred native land, is where they buried it. They didn't bury it like the giants were sacred. Nobody gives a crap about giant bones. That's why Smithsonian takes them and they go missing, and then everybody's like, "There's no such thing as giants." But yeah.
There was some agency with some letters that looked like an old miner, and he had a thigh bone. Remember? He had a femur.
Yep, they took it from him.
It was fucking huge, Jeff.
Really?
Yeah, look that up. It was like legit. And then he said the Smithsonian came or something to test it, and then he never got to see it again. Seriously.
The Smithsonian?
He has a picture of it, and he's next to it. It's the craziest thing.
I'm telling you, take this book. I love this book, but I've done so much research on giants in America. But I recommend this highly. Yeah.
Man.
This book right.
No.
That's got to be a dinosaur bone. Look at the size of that thing.
That might have been, or it might have been a mammoth. They've been finding the mammoth bones like on the because we put them to extinction. Way to go. Anyway, back to making our own theory, Jeff, based on what you said.
Let's do it.
So you can go the route of giants by going, what if the giants that were here integrated and mated with certain types of the primate family, thus creating, or go even further back and mating with a Neanderthal type specimen, which you would get that almost
have the hair and the brow and
the brow, and you would get a lot of the familiar things genetically that you would find. Then that's the one. That's the one, Jimmy.
Yeah, Troy just.
I mean, but that person would be like 15 feet tall or more. Oh, that's a picture in the background. I thought that was the actual size of the bone.
It is.
No,
it is.
That guy's what?
It went away, Jimmy.
Close to 6 foot.
I sent it to you too, Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, let me check it out.
Yeah, it's in your groove. And then I can send you the page on it later. I just have that picture so you reference it.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, it talks about his height and how big these giants were that lived here before us. That's what the story
I'm
is.
going to throw this out at you guys because this is where my brain goes 24/7. Like, I hate to be that person that I don't think about paranormal all the time.
What about 27/4?
Yeah.
Ooh, you don't want to upset the paradigm.
I'm going to throw everybody for a loop.
Okay.
When everybody combats about mermaids, which I frankly feel is just ridiculous, because you're willing to believe in a whole bunch of other stuff, but mermaids is just ridiculous. We're not believing.
I believe in all of it. That's what I believe in.
But here's the thing: if you want to believe, and again, I state this boldly, it's a theory. Okay. If you want to believe in the evolution theory, because it's only a theory, we don't have a lot of pieces and components that prove it to be a factual science yet. Still just a theory, which is fine. Then you need to be able to accept that there were times within our planet as it was growing, as they were stating that our Earth evolved and so did life, like humans,
right,
that we moved land and sea. Okay. As our continents and different land shifts and all these different things happened on our planet. Then we had freezes, we had heat ups, we had all these different elements. Why is it not possible that some of those lines that evolved, that were from the sea to begin with, chose to evolve in the sea and not only on land, which means they would have structural type looking like a human in certain aspects, but they didn't fully evolve on land to look like what we saw.
Like Waterworld. That's a Waterworld.
Kind of crazy sea creatures sometimes. Like
Waterworld. But Waterworld was about that, Brittany.
Exactly.
He evolved the gills over time because all the land was gone. Remember the movie Waterworld?
That's what I mean. Like, why people are willing to immediately go, oh, yeah, we totally came from this tiny amoeba. Then we grew into this little fish that spread legs. And then we grew to this. Then we turned into a whole monkey, a whole different species. And then okay, listen, if you're willing to go down that train of thought, why are you not willing to go down the train of thought that we didn't fully emerge full human? We went into the half sea, half land. Why is that so odd for people to believe? Why couldn't there be a humanoid species that is in the water as well? So in my opinion, if I'm willing to accept a theory of evolution of man from sea, then I am willing to accept that we didn't always evolve to land. If that makes sense.
The only hole in that theory to me is that humanoid is going to have human systems, at least partially. So we're talking lungs,
to a degree,
which are worthless underwater. You know, you need gills or something like that.
To a degree, Jeff, because on land we had certain animals that allegedly evolved into a completely different species. Now, if we have to evolve to our climate, to our
could be some of the
our surroundings, our ecosystem. So
we all started from single cell animals in the sludge.
But what I'm saying is, if we were already from the water, we already look like a fish. Like that one fish that looks like it has hands and feet. I mean, if you've seen it,
there's the what's the not the
one that walks around, but they've actually filmed it underwater. Its fins look like pure hands, and it's massive. Things are like 6 feet long. But anyway, I sit there and I go, okay, those already have gills. They already look like they're kind of human-like. what if it started to evolve a little more, still with the ability to breathe water as air and be able to live and thrive underwater?
Look at this guy.
No, not those. No, not those.
I just saw with the teeth that came up.
Oh my!
It doesn't have like human teeth to it. It's honestly, it's the most bizarre thing. Scuba divers caught it on camera and filmed it. They were in such shock of what they were looking at. And so the science community and the marine biologists started observing it, saying this could be one of those key factors to explain the evolution of, you know, the fish
Sure.
and to that process. But it was bizarre. So I'm just, you know, for me, I'm like, hey, if I'm willing to accept this theory, why does that seem so outlandish?
Well, I always found to be very interesting with that too is, what if they just evolved into whales?
That's all.
Or manatees.
Because, I mean, if you think of the way killer whales treat humans in the wild, I mean, it's like,
yeah, that's a terrible misnomer.
They're like, they don't do anything. They're like very gentle. They never really hurt people. They never have. The only time that happens is in captivity when they're
movie Orca.
Yeah. But we don't know much of and that was just because they wrote a horror movie about her watching her baby get cut out. Did you ever see that movie, Brittany?
Yes, it's awful.
I mean, if you think about it, go ahead. I'm sorry, Troy.
No, I'm saying we have no attacks in the wild of killer whale on humans ever.
I don't think there's a missing link. I think there's missing links, you know, many, because if we're still discovering different things along the evolutionary scale at different points, you know, that are far more retarded than the animals now, or animals that are more advanced that have different things. They adapt so fast. Look at the pythons, how they adapted to Florida, to the cold weather. And you know, it did not take long. It took less than 100 years for an animal to completely adapt to some cold winter conditions.
Yep. I just, you know, we know more about our space
than the sea.
Yeah.
Yes. And we know more about
it was on the cover.
But it's actual fact. We have only discovered, it's now up to like 6.8887 something of the ocean.
Yeah.
But we do not understand what's really down there. So I don't like they found the Greenland shark, right? And he's like 300 and something year old shark now. They didn't even know he was
descendant.
Yeah. And they had no idea, but he's literally like 360 something years old. They had no idea he was still just moping around, doing his own thing, half blind. But it's like, we just don't get it. I don't like the arrogant part of certain areas of science.
I agree with that.
No, it can't be possible.
Like the Galapagos Island, that's an anomaly.
I don't like the religious aspect of it too bothers me, because people are like, oh, it was just, you know, God waved his magic wand and there were perfect humans and all the animals. Yet we had dinosaurs. They evolved and they died out because they were inefficient rather. Sorry. To say that we weren't evolved from other creatures is, you're right, completely arrogant. You know, that we were born into perfection, when they're still finding, you know, huge bones and you know, humans with different shapes or different, and maybe it's just a matter of time till they dig up a human with some kind of primordial gills. You know, you never know these days, because things get found now, and now we have things like ground penetrating radar and remote drone subs and things that can go where we couldn't go before.
Yep, and it's getting better
because we're pretty fragile as a species. You know, that we can't go, you know, X amount of fathoms down into the ocean without imploding, as we saw a few months ago.
I mean, it's something you can work up to if you're doing it time and time. I mean, look at overseas where like they have those women, they're in their own village. They're the ones that go fishing, but they bare hand fish. They have taught themselves to hold their breath up to like 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes at a time.
Wow, dude.
Go look it up. I'm not joking. Like they're underwater for like 20 minutes.
That's
and
awesome.
They're hand fishing with big, and it's like generational. They're teaching from a very young age on how to do it. So I think
maybe eventually they'll have gills.
But I'm just saying, you thrive to survive, and so the strong will prevail. The weak, unfortunately, will get, slowed out of the chain. And I just think that we have to pay attention to all of that. Like forever, people were combating about the giraffe, how it looked so many years ago versus now. And it's like, you understand it was because the foliage that it lived off of was so high. It had to evolve over time for the neck to grow and lengthen for it.
The giraffe.
Yeah, like the saddleback Galapagos tortoise. Saddleback. Because they released all those goats way back. So one of the fears was they had to reach tall to get their food. So that's why their shells started growing like that. And then over time, it was just born that way. The saddleback babies, like Lonesome George.
Yeah.
Some neat stuff theories to that, too.
But I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like, I prefer if a good percentage of people in the science community or in field research would at least say, based off of the science or the knowledge in which we have at the moment, I'm not sure how it could be possible, but I'm not saying it isn't. Because they never state that like that. It's just no. And it's like, but you don't have enough fact to say that. Like,
but you're forgetting one thing. That to become that, you have to go somewhere to get a degree.
I know.
That's institutional. And that's institutional teaching. Right?
Exactly.
That is engraved for the 4 fucking years you start and the 4 years after for your master's.
That's right.
Institutional. That's institutional programming.
Yep.
People can argue me all they want, whatever. You always go back. Even the Bible is smart to say to raise up a child in the way he will go. That's exactly what that means. Exactly what that means. So with that being said, that's institutional, Brittany. So that's why they're not going to do that.
No, I agree with you. But that's like,
I think these have never been very well accepted in this world.
Well, it's just
are cryptid studies becoming a course of study, Brittany, like in some colleges?
What?
Cryptology or ufology? Or...
Yeah. And you want to know why? Because of the recognitions of certain animal species. And that's really all it's about. Like, it's been so blown out of proportion. It's just about animals that are either thought to have gone extinct and still exist, or animals that they were believed to have never existed at all, and all of a sudden they exist. So, I mean, it's not as accepted yet. It would be like something you would take on the side, but
that's like a little something on the side.
The goal of cryptozoology is so that what we were informed is it will not be taken professionally in colleges until we discover a Bigfoot.
So let me ask you this, Brittany.
What they're looking for us to prove.
I'm going to say it wrong. I'm probably going to be way off.
I'm like, so dumb.
Because we're at the end of the show, and I want to ask, because what is this thing called a Zumbumbu Fefe or whatever
I mess it up all the time.
Mumafu?
Mamafufu.
No, okay.
It's a real big name, like Mamafufu.
The dinosaur in the Congo. It's, if you want to look it up, it's
like there's supposedly, Jeff, true story. There's supposedly still a colony of those, a little bit smaller than the Brachiosaurus, whatever they are. They're like a little bit smaller Baronosauruses, but like there's so much stuff.
Mokele Bembe.
Yeah, it's
right.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what that stands for. In native tongue in the Congo, that means stops the flow of water.
One who stops the flow of rivers.
Mm-hmm. So oddly enough, this is how much of a geek I am, and this is what I do all day long. I actually mapped it and figured out chronologically throughout our history of Africa through the continent shifts that it is possible to date to still have 2 different types of dinosaurs still living in the Congo and thriving and surviving.
Well, I mean, because a lot of it is unexplored by modern humans, I imagine. And same with the Amazon. I mean, I'm sure there's parts of the Amazon where a modern human hasn't gone.
I have 2 books on that particular dinosaur.
Well, there's a lot of things too, but I just sent you guys something. On to top all that off, and Hitler had a very big interest in finding live dinosaurs and bringing them back, and he was already on the search for that long before we were. But anyways, you should read some of his stuff.
It's crazy that he found one that looks like a Nazi soldier.
Yeah, right. But read about that. He had a place like that in Austria.
Oh, he was big into the not the paranormal, into like magic, like alchemy and
bending time,
stuff like that. Yeah, he wanted to turn
finding religious artifacts and his own Jurassic food.
The Nazi
They
bone.
said that he had stuff created, that he had put stuff together in his Jurassic Zoo, which I believe was in Austria. When they found out he was conquered, they burnt and killed everything in there. You need to read the story about it. Burn it all down.
No, they must have been Jews.
Stupid, dude. Why would you do that? So, and we're already doing stuff. I know that before we're put in the ground, we're going to see a mammoth.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
a mammoth.
They're
pretty close to having it full now. Where they're going to bring it here. So, I mean, I see them in Walmart.
I think mammoths are one of the coolest prehistoric animals that there
Walmart,
are.
5 minutes to 11.
Yeah,
you'll see them.
Yeah, mammoths are amazing.
Yeah, they really are.
A lot of processed food.
It's sad because it's like we were actually the reason why they went extinct. We hunted them to extinction, which is sad when you think about it. We actually messed up.
We almost did it with buffalo too.
Yeah, I know.
And other things, it's and alligators. I mean, weren't alligators endangered for a while, and then all of a sudden,
alligators almost went extinct.
Yep.
Yeah, especially
which is crazy because you can't swing a dead cat without hitting an alligator in Florida.
Well, I read that somebody goes, we shouldn't play God, because you'll bring those back, and it said if you think cows fart a lot and ruin the atmosphere, bringing these back will be no good. This
mammoth, dude, you see the little hair on the back.
What?
Those statements make me so mad. Because they don't understand about what they played in our ecosystem. I'm telling you to go Google what they did for our ecosystem, mammoths. What they did for us. Like, it's huge. And it also happened up in, I believe, it's always backwards, Greenland. So it would have been in Greenland. But if you read about what they did for the ecosystem and why the importance of mammoths coming back to help our planet is so important, you need to look that up. Like, it's a science that makes sense to put your money.
This is interesting to think about. So we did the same thing to Madagascar. We did a lot of stuff because 200 years ago, there were lemurs the size of gorillas that still cohabitated with smaller lemurs. 200 years ago, still had lemurs the size of
lemurs. Oh boy,
yeah. Read about it. They've got them in. They've got skeletal, and they have the replicas of what they used to look like. They got the skeletal remains of hunters that had shot them and taxidermied them. There's a really big story on it. And don't forget about the moa bird. It was like 12 feet tall.
Yeah.
Years ago. I'm saying 200 because it's always within that range. They were gunned down to nothing because they would walk up to you and people would shoot them. They'd stand next to them and leave them lay. That's what they would do, just to say they shot one of the big ones. And then the Irish elk.
The Irish what?
The Irish elk.
The Irish elk?
Yeah, have you ever seen that son of a gun, dude?
Have you ever seen a moose in person?
They had like a
moose is
I don't
one of the most
a
intimidating animals ever.
What's that?
Have you ever seen a moose in person?
Yeah, they're huge.
Oh, dude, you couldn't even imagine how big they are. When you see them in person, they're just like they're taller than we are. Like the top of their back is like taller than our heads, and they're monstrous.
Yeah, they're a lot bigger than people think.
They're just so cool too to look at.
Oh, I love them. I love them. I just like, yeah. Let me see if I can find a good.
Like when you're standing in the presence of one. There was that video for the longest where it was walking down the interstate, and everybody was just like, "Oh my god!" Because it's like
the Irish elk right there.
That can't be real. Wait a minute. Hold on.
That's
Irish elk. I'm
Irish
going to show you this picture, but it definitely cannot be real.
Well, here's the thing too. I want people to understand with like carbon testing, which is how we test the age of life and things on our planet, just so everyone knows how that actually works. It can only date back to 60,000 years. That's it. And what they do is they'll run it through the system 3 times. Through that 3 times, they then will take the closest rounded numbers to each other because they cannot go past 60,000 in carbon dating. And even with bones, you can't actually test the actual bone. You test the things that are around the bone that is soiled in. So fossilized bones are actually being tested upon the fossilization that's happened around the bone through the carbon testing.
Right, the carbon depletion.
Right, but it can only go back 60,000 years. So when these giant numbers come out, it cracks me up because it's like, well, it could be anywhere between 85,000 years and 2 million. Okay, well, thanks for that.
That's like the cable company. They're going to be there between Thursday and Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, everybody has to understand. And like, I take it with a grain of salt with science on these things. So I always just go, hey, you know what? There's a possibility that what we've been taught, which we're learning every day, is not true. So always keep that in the back of your head. And always remember, 60,000 years is not that long ago. So when people think, oh, you know, dinosaurs and humans did not exist at the same time, we do not know that for certain.
I think that's the working theory that they
didn't. You look at that the dinosaur footprints in Arizona. Sorry, Jeff.
Yes.
Kinda.
I remember the story, but you did go to look.
What's that?
You tried to go look.
We tried. We saw like a couple little ones, and then the natives decided to try to rig us for money and stuff. And I was like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm done. I don't even give a shit. So we left.
Irish elk. Holy crap.
Yeah, because that's a neat thing to see.
I don't want to live in a box.
I wanted to.
Of thinking that these things aren't possible or plausible.
What happened?
Because it's just a sad world to live in. Like, I just know that there's so much that we have yet to explore. When we know there's 60% of Washington that has not been explored in the forest and mountain ranges, there could be anything up there. We are not
amazing too.
I love living in Washington. It was one of my favorite places I ever lived, in Seattle. And
big ass grizzly bears that will fucking maul you and eat you.
Oh hell yeah!
But I mean, think of that statement though. But I mean, think of that statement. People say that all the time. Oh, we've been on every inch of land all over, and we've never seen.
Are they all English?
Really? You've walked everywhere? So in that 60%.
Man, you're going after the English pretty hard there, dude.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, it just makes me mad because it's like, to me, that's not all British people sound like that, but it's like, it just reminds me of like the old Tarzan movies, like where they're like, yes, I know the way, and I have all the answers.
I remember that. I remember that.
It's just like, come on.
With the khaki coat and the pith helmet.
Yeah, you know, and it just takes like.
I hear that now.
Sometimes.
Or like,
King Kong.
do you remember like in Jumanji, the character that came, he was like the hunter in Africa or whatever, he had big chop on, you know, he's like, I know everything. You know, that's how I see these people. And it's like, God, take your monocle off for like 2 seconds and listen to what I'm saying. Like, you're just so about the book. You're not stepping away and thinking about just maybe. Like, that's the part that kills me when people come at me that are like pure Darwinists that are like, I'm going to fight you. I'm like, you can fight me all you want, but you really need to do research on Darwin. You're so saying that he was anti-God, and he wasn't. He believed in God, and he actually said what God's creations were so beautiful that God created evolution for us to thrive and survive on our planet. So like people just immediately are like, he hated God, he was atheist. And it's like, no, actually he wasn't. He never once ever stated that. I love
when people state things as fact that they just assume or guess. It happens every day.
That's just because they saw a fish with feet on it on the back of a car that said Darwin.
But the best part is, though, is he was at the Galapagos Islands when he had this thought. But, like, think of how brilliant his mind was. He was sitting at the Galapagos Islands when he had this thought. Imagine, though, you can understand why. Look at how the Galapagos Islands thrives and survives with the life that it has on it. And he was sitting there amazed by what he was seeing, going, maybe life isn't so simple. Maybe this did have to grow and over time become what it was. And that's where his theory began. And I find that fascinating. But he never once said, God's not real. God never helped create anything. Like, never. He just came up with a really cool twist of how our planet evolved.
Which is what it all is to me.
Which is amazing.
Everybody puts their twist on it, man, because that's all we can do.
Point of fact, there's been a lot more sightings of evolutionary anomalies than there has of God.
Yeah, you know what I think is cool about evolution? A hyrax related to an elephant.
Yeah. Hyrax. Yeah.
That's really awesome. Like really close.
Dude, look at some of the weird
like
shit.
On a pit bull.
There's God. He smokes a lot of weed. Look at like the okapi and
dude, that's
weird
cool
shit. It's like a zebra, fucking moose, monkey.
I like the okapis. I think they're awesome.
Oh, they're so cool looking.
Okapis are pretty awesome. I know they've got some out. I think they have them out at Wild Florida. They look really cool.
I love them. I'm just saying, like, I'm just so out of the box. Like, I like creating my own theories or taking other people's theories into consideration and just being open to the thought that we aren't right. Sorry, we're just not right. We're imperfect.
That's my favorite part, that we're not right.
I mean, look at this thing. The freaking okapi is like, it's like a cow body, horse face, with fucking zebra leggings on. It's unreal, man. These things are so
I love
cool
that thing,
looking.
dude. Zebra leggings. I like
That's what
that.
it looks like. You know, it looks like it's wearing like zebra
like she's getting ready to go out to
yoga
party
pants
tonight.
and zebra
That's
those
what it
arm
looks
things that you put over.
Yeah, that's only certain times of the year, right? They put those on.
And
Of course, when it's warm and when they're doing dance.
They're like ready to go out and do a party.
They do also believe that the Tasmanian tiger the Tasmanian tiger is still alive and thriving.
That would be awesome.
So there's a team of
definitely want to see that in person, Jeff. I've seen
a Tasmanian devil in person.
We killed it. It was our stupidity that killed the one in captivity. We did it.
Oh, well, we also wiped a lot of them out because they looked at them like coyotes.
Well, they didn't give it a home.
I was going to say it's a nuisance animal in Tasmania, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, no one.
Now, speaking of that, one of my favorite animals over there, Jimmy, is the Tasmanian devil. Those things are so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're insane.
Man, I would love
they
to
spin around really fast, like in the cartoons. Make a little.
I just like them because the way the noises they make. Have you ever listened to them, Jeff?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they're pissed off, bro, all they need is a wife beater, dude, and a cigar. That's it, dude.
They could be on Cops.
Oh my God. They're little gangsters, dude.
Yeah. There's so many fucking weird animals that are nuisance animals, so we don't pay attention to them. Like, I don't know if you guys know fisher cats. They have those down here. It's actually like a weasel. It's like a huge weasel, and they eat a lot of.
I've never seen any here.
They had gotten rid of them in Connecticut where I lived, and they somehow ended up reestablishing. And it's like a kill on sight, like a coyote, because they eat a lot of like farm animals. They eat a lot of chickens and small pets and stuff like that. It's like a huge like ferret thing. Let me see if I can find.
Yes, that's that Tasmanian devils are literally on the brink of extinction. I was reading that. That sucks. Tasmania is a good island.
What are those little weird rats they have down here? Oh, the nutria.
Yeah, those are cool.
Oh my God.
Humans are a nuisance, so are house cats.
It was so cute that when we were in Hawaii, they had the little weasels that like live. They were running around in the hotel. They're the cutest little things I've ever seen. Like they sneak around, like they wait, like they have their
weasels.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, dude. That's why they're weasel.
They're little weasel, but they're adorable. Like I love weasels, period. Like I like gerbils and stuff. But like they would wait and like they would see people and they're like, all right, hold on. Just hold on. Okay, now. And they're like, but like the little feet like perk up and their bodies were like perked up, but they're like, I wanted to film them so bad, but they moved so quickly with like their little bodies and faces. Like they were like on a mission everywhere they went that I didn't get it in chance. They're just so freaking cute.
Did you send us something, Jeff?
Yeah, I sent a picture of the fisher cat. It's like a little like.
I see it.
Like, it's like a red panda and a ferret had a huge baby.
That's exactly what it is. Cool looking critter, man.
Yeah, it's considered a nuisance animal just because they kill so many domestic animals. They're vicious. Most of the weasel family, I think, is pretty freaking vicious. I know otters will fuck you up.
There's a need for everything, my friend.
And what is the one they have in the Everglades? Like the Everglades mink. I've never seen.
Yeah, we have mink. Yeah, we have mink.
They had us. We had to take a class on their dens and identifying because their dens are like protected because it's an endangered species.
Okay, that's cool. I've never seen one down there. I know Jimmy.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I've seen a mink before.
It's got a cool horn. I need to see.
It's like a fucking ferret running through the Everglades.
Yeah.
But they're like a little reddish color, aren't they, in Florida?
They're like a reddish black brown fur. Yeah, it's like a red brown.
Cool.
Red, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that lives here that I need to see if I ever move out of the state of Florida.
Before,
you know,
sure.
Like what is those fox squirrels? Those huge fox squirrels.
Yeah, they're up here in Ocala.
I have them here.
Yes,
oh, Jimmy's got, dude. I see them on his property.
Nice, dude.
They're like
I'm gonna be close.
Looks like a coyote.
I'm gonna do hangs, man. And what's the other one? Florida flying squirrels. I've never seen those either. Have you ever seen one of those, Jimmy? The native flying squirrels.
Yes,
I've seen them. Yep,
I got them all over here.
That's crazy.
All over here.
Friggin' today, it was like I woke up about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I went out back to go feed the tortoise because I was cleaning out the fridge, and he was getting all the old veggies. And there was a bat flying around my backyard in broad daylight. I'd never seen it before.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude, it was like a good-sized bat. And at first I thought it was a butterfly, and I was like, "Oh my God,
rabies! What's he doing in the house,
dude?" Yeah, he's out during the day. He probably is rabid.
That's what I'm saying. He's looking for someone to bite. But anyhow, we are. What are we in now? We're 24 minutes in, and I appreciate it. We need to wrap it up for everybody so that everybody can get back to their day-to-day life. But thanks for coming out and checking the group out again, and thanks everybody for coming on to the show.
Hell yeah.
It's
had a good time talking about some fun shit tonight, and everybody was on point. We had a good time. Those are some neat topics.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is what we like to do. So we're gonna look some more cool stuff up this week and see what we can come up with. And
hell yeah. Thanks, Seth.
Yep, well, we love you all too, and we appreciate you all coming out.
Bye, everybody.